Hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to talk today about this thing. This is a Landtone Klone, and never done a Klon before. Always planned on doing it, but didn't like any of the layouts you find online for stripboard or perf. They're all pretty big, so I found a kit fairly cheap in my local area and picked it up. Decided to do it, and sounds great. Ran into a couple problems though while I was building it because the documentation isn't very good. So, in the description, I will link to a page that I found that explains all this stuff. If you don't want to sit through the video, you can click on that link. And but otherwise, I'm just going to show you the trouble that I had, and it's nothing too serious, so don't get too scared. Mainly, everything is pretty straightforward. All the resistors were labeled. You know, the ICs are nice and clear. The diodes are all clearly labeled on the PCB. So that wasn't a problem. I will mention that the kit came with a 3P DT switch, so a triple throw, or a 3-pole double throw. So you can get away with a double pole double throw switch like I have here, because with a 3P DT, the 3 of the lugs are not used. So because this is a buffered bypass pedal, so I had a spare one of those, and since I use the 3P DT more often, I decided to keep that for my stock and put this one in there instead. So, having said that, what are the problems I ran into? Well, really the only problems I had were when you run into the offboard wiring. So when you're wiring up the jacks here, the power jack, the battery wasn't a problem, and the switch, because they have these pads here. So for 9 volt, it's just labeled 9 volt. It doesn't tell you which end goes where. And same thing with the input and output jacks. So you have out there, but it doesn't tell you which wire to put where. Same with the in, and the switch is just labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't know if you can see those, but yeah, it's just numbered 1 to 6. It doesn't tell you where to put anything, and it doesn't really show you in the documentation either. So after a little bit of searching, I found the link that I will share. Once again, it's in the description. So that's how I figured all this out, because it was basically just somebody else figured it out and passed it along, so now I'm passing it along again. So the long and short of it is, if you want to do this like I have and everything works, and I'll plug it in at the end of the video and show you, but anyway, the power jack, you have, and apparently this is for a bunch of these Klon kits. They're all under different brands, but all have essentially the same PCB with parts. So even if you don't have specifically a Landtone one, you might have one that looks a lot like this or looks exactly like this, so this will work the same way. So the power jack, you have 3 lugs and 3 lugs in the power jack. The sideways lug here is the ground. The one halfway between the two is the battery, positive, and the one in the middle there is the positive from the power jack. So you would wire the ground up to the top lug here when it's oriented like this. The pardon me, the battery positive is this white wire here, which goes right there, and the normal positive is the bottom lug, which goes on this one here. Pretty straightforward. The output jack is similar, so you have on these particular jacks, you have a ring tip sleeve. This sleeve is on the angled corner here. As you can see, these both have an angled corner, and I have them oriented like that just to make it easier visually for me. So the sleeve is going to go here. Sleeve is the ground. Anyway, we'll go top to bottom just because it's a little easier. So the top lug on the out, or the top pad on the out, goes to the ring, which is if you've oriented your jacks like this, it's the one on the right. The middle lug, or middle pad, sorry, is the sleeve, which, as I said, was on the angled piece. And then the last one is the tip, which is in this case, the bottom. So then on your input jack, there's only two, because the output jack is what switches the battery. So you only need two pads on the in jack. So you're only going to be using the tip and the sleeve. So in this case, the tip is the left and the sleeve is the right. So tip, once again, if they're oriented like this, tip is on the bottom. Come on, focus. Yeah, tip is on the bottom there, and the sleeve is right here on the angled corner. So with that, the only thing left is the switch. And as I said, you have 6 pads. So if you're using the 3P DT that came with the kit, one second, I'll grab one so I can show you. So this is similar to what came with the kit. I don't think this is the exact one, but whatever. So you'll see 9 lugs here, and you want the holes to be oriented vertically like this when you install it. So all of the, like if you were to look at this, this would be one single pole switch, double throw. This would be a second one, this would be a third one. So they're all sort of isolated from each other. If you were using this and you hooked it up to your, if you secured it to your casing like that, then you would just do the same thing as I'm doing here, like the same lugs. You would just only use 2 columns. You can use the left column in the middle, the left and the right, or the right in the middle, but only use 2. But anyway, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 you would put in the top left, 2 is the center left, 3 is the bottom left, 4 is the top right, 5 is center right, and 6 is the bottom right. So yeah, that's it. If you were sort of struggling with these and the documentation and found it hard, hopefully that helped you. I will leave it at that, and I'll put it back together and just do a brief sound demo for you. So thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.